Okay, so let's dive into this material you brought today. It's really something else. We're looking at what seems to be like minutes from a meeting.
Yeah, a very, very specific kind of meeting. Time Travelers Anonymous.
Right, Time Travelers Anonymous. And I mean, you look at the first few lines, and it's clear this isn't your standard support group. We've got a guy, Dave, who's managed to erase his wife
Yeah.
multiple times.
Accidentally, it seems, by
Mhm.
changing seemingly small details in the past, like
Right.
teaching her juggling instead of meeting her in a coffee shop, apparently.
Wild. And then there's Janice, who's described as what? Flickering?
Flickering through phases, yeah. It throws you right in, doesn't it? Into the messy reality of paradoxes for these
It
people.
really does. It's not theoretical for them. It's Tuesday.
Exactly. And Dave's problem, this paradox rot they mentioned, it really drives home how unpredictable fiddling with time could be, even small things.
Makes you think. And then you've got Ron. His fashion sense is, permanently confused.
A walking temporal mismatch, yeah. A kind of side effect of his travels.
Hmm.
He seems like the group's maybe realist
Hmm.
or skeptic.
Especially when the newcomer shows up. That seems to be the main event here.
Eli. Yeah, Eli's arrival is the core puzzle.
So Eli walks in, and the group, these experienced time travelers, they don't recognize them at all. They mention something about a missing quantum burn.
Right, a quantum burn or an emotional watermark. Think of it like a residual signature, something they expect to sense from anyone who's jumped timelines.
Like a footprint in time.
Sort of, yeah. Or maybe an emotional resonance that persists across different versions of history. But Eli has neither.
Which is unheard of for them.
Completely. It suggests Eli isn't just from an altered timeline. There's something else.
And Eli claims they just don't exist. No birth, no history, nothing in any timeline.
That's the claim. Imagine walking into a room of people who manipulate reality for a living and telling them you're the impossible one.
Especially in this setting. You know, a community center, bad coffee. The mundane backdrop makes it even stranger.
It does. And then Eli knows things they shouldn't.
Ah, yeah. The Prague Pulse, Dave's incident, which is apparently classified.
Highly classified, it seems. Eli knowing about it and about how it created this chronofractal burst. That's the first clue.
The clue to what? How can someone who doesn't exist know classified temporal physics?
Well, that's the mystery, isn't it? They also mention Eli possessing Dave's signature. Not the quantum burn, but maybe his specific temporal marker linked to that Prague event.
So not completely disconnected, tied to a specific disruption in time.
Precisely. Which leads Janet, the facilitator.
Right, Janet. She wears a pin that says, "I'm not your paradox, I'm your friend."
Love that.
Yeah.
She seems to be the anchor, trying to maintain some order. She suggests Eli might be a data-only construct.
Meaning, like an echo.
Kind of an echo of something that shouldn't have happened. Or as she puts it, a hole in history got filled by something.
Wow, okay. That's abstract.
And then Ron jumps in with his theory.
Ron, the fashion disaster. What's his take?
He calls Eli a bootstrap personality, formed from, get this, unreferenced timeline residue.
Timeline residue, like the leftover bits from all their paradoxes.
Essentially, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Eli's personality is just cobbled together from the background noise of altered history. No single origin point.
That sounds completely impossible.
Well, in a room where a woman flickers and a man relives his death daily, maybe impossible is relative.
Good point. We skipped Victor, the guy in the 27-hour loop ending at sunrise.
Right, Victor. His situation is just accepted as, Victor's a thing. It highlights how extreme things are for this group.
So back to Eli. This residue theory, does it explain why they can't interact normally, like automated checkouts skip them?
It fits, doesn't it? If you're not real in the conventional sense, maybe the mundane world just doesn't register you. Victor calls Eli a ghost made of unprocessed potential.
A ghost made of potential. That's haunting.
Janet just warned us what happens when you bend the rules too much.
Yeah.
Either way, Eli's existence or lack thereof is a problem.
So what's the solution? You can't exactly file paperwork for someone made of timeline residue.
Janet's idea is creative.
Anchoring.
Basically, they decide to collectively create shared memories with Eli in them, to deliberately give Eli a past, a temporal signature.
So they're gonna lie.
Eli actually uses that word. You're gonna lie to make me real. It's a fascinating ethical question, isn't it? Can collective belief actually manifest reality?
Especially for someone who seems to exist outside the normal rules.
Exactly. So they try it. They create this memory. Eli was the 1998 World Line Divergence Summit. Very specific detail. Dave spilled coffee on Eli's shoes.
Okay, a plausible, mundane detail for a time travel conference, I guess?
Plausible enough,
Hmm.
but the incredible thing, Eli suddenly remembers it, genuinely, like the
Yeah.
fabricated memory just slotted into place.
Whoa. Okay, that's deeply weird. It worked.
It seems to have. And Janet notices something else. Eli isn't just a bootstrap anymore, they're recursive.
Recursive, growing backwards.
Yeah, like these created memories are building a past, retroactively. Eli even describes themselves as a memory virus.
A memory virus, spreading into the past through invented recollections. That's unsettling.
It gets stranger. Victor, Mr. 27-hour Luke, he asks to be included.
He wants in on the fake memories. Why?
Maybe, hope. They create a memory of Victor fixing Eli's watch at some conference in, like, 2157,
Yeah.
far future.
Does Victor remember it?
Apparently, yes. He gets this look of recognition. And then sunrise comes, his usual reset point.
And he vanishes.
He vanishes, but his chair stays warm.
Stays warm. That's new.
Completely new. A tiny change, but huge. It suggests the reset wasn't total. Something lingered, some connection through Eli, maybe.
So anchoring Eli is actually changing their established paradoxes.
It seems like it. It's not just Eli who changes. The lights in the room stop flickering. Janice stabilizes.
She stops flickering.
Stops flickering. Ron's clothes suddenly become consistent. From one era,
No way. Even Ron's fashion sense gets fixed.
apparently.
Yeah.
And someone notes the coffee tastes slightly better.
Okay, now I know reality is breaking down. Better coffee?
Okay. Maybe just a coincidence. But the point is, anchoring Eli seems to be stabilizing everything for them.
So it's not just them making Eli real.
Eli realizes it too, that their own reality, their stability, is somehow tied to believing in the others. It's reciprocal.
Wow. My head hurts. So how does it end?
It ends with Janet formally welcoming Eli to Time Travelers Anonymous. Meetings every Tuesday, Chrono Standard Time.
Chrono Standard, of course.
And Ron just kind of shrugs and says, well, I guess you're the new weird one. And they all laugh. There's this sense of, like, okay, this is our new normal. Stability, sort of.
What a journey from non-existence to the new weird one in one meeting.
It really makes you grapple with those lines, doesn't it? Between what's real, what's remembered, and what's just believed. Especially with time travel thrown in.
Absolutely. It leaves this massive question hanging. What is existence, really? Is it just birth certificates and records? Or can shared belief, these constructed memories, actually create a reality for someone?
Could someone really exist without a past, built only on the present and maybe a retroactively fabricated history?
Yeah.
What does that even imply?
And what about paradoxes? We think of them as destructive, but here, maybe a paradox or the resolution of one created someone.
Right. And it makes you reconsider Ron's bootstrap personality idea.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not just timeline residue. Maybe it's something else the universe does when pushed too hard. The potential consequences of even tiny changes seem immense if they could lead to, well, to Eli.
It definitely gives you a lot to chew on. The fragility of reality, the power of belief, the sheer strangeness of time.
A truly fascinating deep dive into some very peculiar meeting minutes.